You're watching your energy disappear after 40. Your back hurts. Your focus is gone by 2 p.m. You think it's just aging. Wrong. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon at 52, conquered Gaul in his late 40s, and was still personally leading cavalry charges at 55 years old. He didn't have testosterone therapy or anti-aging clinics. He had a system, and that system kept him sharper and stronger than men half his age. Here's exactly what he did and why it creates a foundation of health that most modern advice overlooks. Look, here's the thing. Caesar wasn't some genetic freak. Historical accounts describe him as thin, balding, and prone to seizures, likely epilepsy. He had every excuse to be weak, but he understood something that modern medicine is just now rediscovering. Your body doesn't decline because of age. It declines because you stop demanding things from it. The moment you accept, I'm too old for this, your nervous system gets the message and starts shutting down systems you're not using. Caesar never sent that message, not once. So what did he actually do? First, the walking, not casual strolls. Strategic, daily, long-distance walking that he treated like a non-negotiable appointment. Roman sources tell us Caesar would walk for hours, often covering 20 to 30 miles in a single day when traveling between military camps. And here's what nobody tells you about walking. It's the single most powerful tool for maintaining mitochondrial density as you age. Your mitochondria are the power plants in your cells. After 40, you start losing about 8% of your mitochondrial function per decade if you're sedentary. But consistent aerobic activity, especially walking, signals your body to maintain and even build new mitochondria. Caesar was accidentally doing the exact protocol that longevity researchers now say is essential for healthy aging. But before you think walking is too easy, understand how he walked. He didn't shuffle. Roman military march pace was fast, around 4 to 5 miles per hour, and they maintained it for hours. That's the zone exercise physiologists call zone 2 cardio, where your heart rate is elevated, but you can still hold a conversation. This specific intensity has been proven to maximize fat oxidation and improve insulin sensitivity. And insulin sensitivity is everything after 40. When your cells stop responding to insulin properly, you get brain fog, you store fat, you lose muscle. Caesar was keeping his metabolic system young by walking at the exact pace that keeps your cells responsive. The mental work during physical activity. Yeah, this is huge. Caesar famously dictated letters to scribes while riding horses or traveling on foot. He was doing cognitive tasks during movement. Neuroscience research from the last decade shows that combining mental effort with physical activity increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is basically fertilizer for your brain. It promotes neuroplasticity and protects against cognitive decline. You're sitting at a desk for your mental work and going to the gym for physical work. You've separated the two. Caesar combined them, and his brain stayed razor sharp while everyone around him declined. Swimming. This was Caesar's secret weapon. Ancient sources specifically mention his exceptional swimming ability. He famously swam across the harbor of Alexandria while holding important documents above water during a battle when he was 52. Swimming is the most complete form of resistance training you can do without weights. Every stroke requires coordinated full-body muscle activation against resistance. The water provides constant, even pressure on every muscle, forcing them to work throughout the entire range of motion. And here's the part that matters for aging. Swimming is zero impact. Your joints aren't compressed. You're building strength and cardiovascular capacity without the inflammatory stress that comes from pounding your joints with running or heavy lifting. But here's where it gets interesting for older men specifically. Cold water exposure. Romans didn't have heated pools. Caesar was swimming in natural bodies of water, which in Italy means temperatures between 15 to 20 degrees Celsius for much of the year. Cold water immersion triggers a massive release of norepinephrine, which sharpens focus and mood, and it forces your body to generate heat, which means your metabolism has to work harder. Studies show that regular cold exposure can increase your metabolic rate by 16% and improve insulin sensitivity. Caesar was getting hormetic stress, which is the good kind of stress that makes you more resilient every single time he swam. The fasting protocol. Romans typically ate one large meal per day, usually in the afternoon or evening. Caesar followed this pattern, often going 16 to 18 hours between meals. This is what we now call intermittent fasting, and the research on this for aging is overwhelming. When you fast, your body activates autophagy, which is your cellular cleaning system. Your cells start breaking down and recycling damaged proteins and organelles. It's like taking out the trash at the cellular level. After 40, your autophagy system naturally declines, which is one reason you accumulate cellular damage faster. By fasting daily, Caesar was forcing his body to maintain its cleaning system at a level most men his age had already lost. And the quality of what he ate matters. Roman elite diet was heavy on olive oil, fish, vegetables, legumes, and moderate amounts of meat. This is almost identical to what we now call the Mediterranean diet, which has more research supporting its anti-aging effects than any other dietary pattern. The high omega-3 content from fish reduces inflammation. The polyphenols in olive oil protect your cardiovascular system. The fiber Fiber from vegetables and legumes feeds your gut bacteria, which directly influences everything from your immune system to your mood. Caesar wasn't counting macros. He was eating food that supported cellular health by default, the stress management component. Here's what people miss. Caesar was under constant life-threatening stress. Assassination attempts, political enemies, military campaigns, but he had a release valve, the physical training. Exercise is the most effective stress management tool that exists because it completes the stress cycle. When you're under psychological stress, your body releases cortisol and adrenaline, preparing you for physical action. But if you just sit there worrying, those hormones stay elevated. You need physical movement to metabolize them. Caesar's daily walking, swimming, and riding gave his body a way to process the massive stress he was under. You're stressed about work, about money, about health, and then you go home and sit on the couch. The stress hormones never get cleared. They just accumulate, and they age you faster than anything else. Now here's the problem with modern aging. You've been taught that after 50, you need to take it easy. You need to listen to your body. And yes, you should listen to your body, but most people are listening to discomfort and calling it a signal to stop. Pain is different from discomfort. Pain is sharp, specific, and a warning. Discomfort is your body saying, this is challenging and I need to adapt. Caesar didn't stop when things were uncomfortable. He stopped when there was actual injury risk. There's a massive difference. The strategic rest. Caesar did understand recovery. He didn't train through injury. When he had his epileptic episodes, he would rest completely. When he was truly exhausted from campaigns, he would take days of minimal activity. This is periodization, which athletes use now, but most people ignore. You can't go hard every single day, but you also can't rest every day. Caesar had intense periods followed by strategic recovery, and that variation is what allows your body to adapt and grow stronger. So how do you apply this without being a Roman general? Start walking every single day for at least 30 minutes at a pace where you're slightly out of breath but can still talk. Not a stroll, a march. Do it in the morning if possible, and use that time to think through problems or listen to educational content. Get in the water. If you have access to a pool, swim twice a week. If you can handle cold showers or cold plunges, even better. Start with 30 seconds and build up. The cold exposure will wake up systems in your body that have been dormant. Try a 16-hour fasting window. Finish dinner by 7 p.m. Don't eat again until 11 a.m. the next day. Just that simple change will activate autophagy and improve your insulin sensitivity within weeks. And when you eat, focus on whole foods. Fish, vegetables, olive oil, legumes. You don't need to be perfect. Just shift the ratio toward foods that support your cells instead of inflaming them. Stop separating mental and physical work. Take walks while you think through problems. Do bodyweight exercises while listening to audiobooks. Your brain and body are designed to work together, not in isolation. And stop using age as an excuse. Caesar was dealing with epilepsy, the stress of managing an empire, and constant assassination threats. You have a desk job and some joint pain. It's not the same. The lifestyle villain here is comfort. You've optimized your life for ease. Climate control, soft chairs, convenient food, minimal walking. Every system in your body is designed to respond to challenge. When you remove all challenge, those systems atrophy. Caesar lived in a world of constant physical and mental demand, and his body responded by staying capable. You live in a world of constant comfort, and your body is responding by declining. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about refusing to let age be an excuse for weakness. Your ancestors in their 50s and 60s were building civilizations, fighting wars, and leading societies. They didn't have modern medicine, but they had something you're missing. They demanded things from their bodies every single day, and their bodies responded. The science supports everything Caesar did. Walking for mitochondrial health, cold exposure for metabolism, fasting for autophagy, full body resistance work for maintaining muscle, stress processing through movement. These aren't ancient secrets. They're biological requirements that we've forgotten because we've made life too easy. So if this changed how you think about aging and what's actually possible after 40, smash that like button so we know to create more content on ancient health systems that actually work. And tell me in the comments, what's the one excuse you've been using about age that you're ready to drop right now?